I'm Paul Gosar, representative for Arizona's 1st Congressional District, a rural district that spans over 58,000 square miles. It is one of the largest and most rural districts in the country. My district is rich with natural resources and contains diverse climates that are conducive to many forms of energy generation, including traditional fossil fuel, hydroelectric, solar, and wind power. I am happy to be here today to present the Congressional Western Caucus weekly address and discuss my Jobs and Conservation Bill, H.R. 1904, the Southeast Arizona Land Exchange and Conservation Act of 2011. Though blessed with natural resources, my district, like much of the nation, suffers from high unemployment, and together we can do something about this. I firmly believe Arizona's 1st Congressional District can be a national model for a natural resources-driven economic recovery that takes great care to provide a sustainable future for our lands. Just as natural resource development has created sustained economic growth in North Dakota, it can do the same in Arizona or any other state if we can get the government out of the way. That is what H.R. 1904 does in part. H.R. 1904 authorizes a land exchange in southeast Arizona, opening up the 3rd largest undeveloped copper resource in the world. This exchange is the first step of a mining project that will support over 3,700 jobs, equating to more than $220 million in annual wages. These are real jobs, private sector jobs, not government jobs that rely on taxes. According to a recent economic study, the total economic impact of the mine is estimated to be over $61.4 billion, over $1 billion per year for the life of the mine, and another $19 billion in federal, state, county, and local tax revenue. In order to allow this mine to proceed, a parcel of federally owned land needs to be exchanged to the mine operator. This land exchange will bring into federal stewardship 5,500 acres of high-priority conservation lands in exchange for 2,600 acres of National Forest System land intermingled with private land and blanketed by unpatented mining claims in what is called the Copper Triangle in southeast Arizona. Through this legislation, we can preserve lands that advance the important public objectives of protecting wildlife habitat, cultural and historic resources, the watershed, recreation sites, and aesthetic values, while enabling an important mining project to go forward that will generate economic and employment opportunities for state and local residents. The copper located on the land transferred in H.R. 1904 is the richest copper ore body in North America. The United States currently imports over 30% of the country's copper demand. This project could produce enough copper equal to 25% of the current U.S. demand. Copper is a critical metal used in the production of a wide variety of products, including electronics, transportation machinery, and renewable energy and cutting-edge technologies. A single 3-megawatt wind turbine requires 4.7 tons of copper. Hybrid vehicles require double the amount of copper as gas-fueled automobiles. The Department of Defense indicates that copper ranks 2nd, behind aluminum, in defense industrial applications. That demand for copper is only going to increase. Just as relying on foreign oil imports threatens national security, relying on foreign copper suppliers also potentially threatens U.S. industry. The United States must use domestic resources to meet that growing demand, and H.R. 1904 is a major step in that direction. At a time when our nation has more than 14 million people out of work, Congress should be focusing on policies that help create good-paying, sustainable private sector jobs without costing taxpayers. H.R. 1904 achieves this objective and will benefit our nation as a whole. This is a win-win for everyone. The nation will gain some beautiful lands, and at the same time it will gain jobs and economic productivity. H.R. 1904 will be voted on this Wednesday on the House floor. I urge you to contact your member about this important piece of legislation, and thank you for watching this week's installment of the Congressional Western Caucus Weekly Address.